Hello fellow crafters and DIYers, welcome to my channel. I'm Lily and this is Lily's Crafty Nest. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to create a reverse canvas. We're also going to be using our Cricut machine to create or to cut out our artwork, but we're not going to use the actual vinyl to put on the canvas. Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to create a stencil and then we're going to dab color onto the canvas. I mentioned last week that I was creating a vignette with colors that were a little bit different from the traditional oranges and reds and yellows and greens. My daughter is hosting Thanksgiving at her house and I'm helping her with decoration and cooking, obviously. She's a newlywed. She's going more with the very subdued colors, very natural colors. Although pumpkins are orange, we're going with white and greens and grays. And if you go to Target and you go to Pottery Barn and you go to these other places, you'll see that that is the trend for this year for fall. But you're welcome to use the beautiful colors that are traditional for every fall season, which are the maroons, the oranges, the burnt oranges, the greens, and those beautiful colors. So this is just an idea, but you can go ahead and create whatever you like that matches your home's decor. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this one, please subscribe to my channel. So let's get crafting. For this project, you'll need the following supplies: blank canvas, paint and paint brushes, distressing ink, glue gun and glue sticks, vinyl and transfer tape, X-Acto knife, scissors, measuring tape or ruler. You're also going to need a cutting machine like the Cricut or the Silhouette to cut out your stencil. If you don't have one of these machines, it's okay. You can go ahead and purchase a stencil of your liking at Michael's or Joann's, or you can just make one yourself. Now I'm in Design Space uploading the design that I created in PicMonkey, but you can pick anything from Access or anything that you've created in another software. It comes out really big in my computer, I don't know why. And there it is. And I'm going to now put the tag so I can find it eventually later if I'm looking for it. Lily, because I'm the one who created it, and anything related to Thanksgiving or fall. If you notice, I selected the print and cut instead of the cut, but that's not a problem because we're able to fix it later on. Now we see how it puts it into our gallery, and then what we do is we select it, and here it is. Again, it's huge, but we can go ahead and size it. And I wanted to add a little bit of embellishments like leaves, and I'm going to do that here in Access. Okay, let's look for a leaf that is pretty. Oh my gosh, that's pretty, but I'm not paying for that. So let's go to Access, Cricut Access, and find one that's pretty and free, like this one. I love this one. So let's go ahead and place it here and turn it around and see where it looks good. I think that looks good. We don't need this part, so let's go ahead and delete it. Just put the same color. Not that it's going to print this way, not that it matters, but since I'm going to go ahead and use gold, let's go ahead and do that. I think we need another one, so oops. Let me duplicate it or copy and paste it. Duplicate, it's easier. And I think I need another one. Maybe there, but that's a bit big, so let's make it smaller. I think I like that. And let's make this one a little bit smaller too. And I think that looks great. And now we're going to select everything and we're going to group it. And we're going to go ahead and make it and send it to our Cricut machine. There it is in our canvas. The leaves are in the right place. So it's just a matter of cutting it. Select the material. The material is vinyl because that's what we're cutting. Now we're gonna prepare the canvas. We're gonna grab an X-Acto knife and cut all around the canvas to remove the actual canvas from the frame, like this. And we're gonna turn it over and then clean the back. You don't really have to take off the staples if you don't want to. And this is a beautiful frame. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut along those lines around the canvas so it's the same size as the frame. If you need to fold down the canvas so you can see the crease better, go right ahead and do it. I did that every time because I really wanted the lines to be straight. And there we go, it is perfect. Here's where we're gonna put our artwork. Okay, so now I grabbed white and like an apple green and mixed those together so it wasn't so bright, but I thought it was still a little bit bright, so I added a little bit of the gray that I had bought for the frame. So I added some more gray to see if it muted the color a little bit, and it did. So let's see which of the two brushes I like. I think I prefer the thicker one because it covers more space, although the smaller one gave a really pretty texture, but it doesn't matter, it still looks distressed. I think it's a bit bright still, but let's see what happens when it dries. Okay, there we go, it's painted. Now let's complete the frame. We're gonna use that gray and we're gonna paint the whole frame, and later we're gonna distress it once it's dry. So there we go. It is a pretty gray. Just think it's a bit light, but it doesn't matter because we're gonna make it look aged later on. Okay, so now we're gonna weed our vinyl, and normally if we were going to place the letters on the canvas, we would be doing the opposite. We would be leaving the letters and removing the blank space. Okay, so now it's coming to life, and just be very careful when you're doing this, because if you remove the insides of like the A, the E, the H, you will have a hard time painting without, you know, making a mess. And we're almost done. We have the other leaf right here. We'll remove that. And now we're gonna grab our transfer tape. I cut a size of almost the same size as that, maybe a little bit bigger. This thing keeps on trying to roll, so I'm putting a little bit of tape so I could hold it down and place the transfer tape on it. Okay, this is really sticky, so take your time doing this. There's another way of doing it, but I'm just an impatient kind of person sometimes. So, but it worked for me. And you use your little burnishing tool so you can make sure that it adheres to the entire vinyl and no bubbles are left there. So there we go. And now we're going to remove the carrier sheet, exposing the part that we're actually going to place on the canvas. Okay, so here you're going to be very careful and make sure, and I'm going to say this again, that you keep the pieces that go in between the letters to define them, like the E's, the A, the H, you know, all those little loops. Now we're going to try to find the center as best you can of your canvas, and then you're gonna stick this to your canvas, and you're gonna burnish it to make sure that it is adhered correctly and there's no bubbles, no spaces. And then you're gonna remove that plastic. And I'm sorry that I took it off so fast, but make sure you go over all of the letters gently so you don't tear the vinyl. And then you're ready for painting. I'm using a gold, and then I'm gonna dab it on the letters and on every blank space that exposes the canvas, and hopefully we get nice crisp letters. They also have I think Cricut has stencil vinyl, and I'm not sure if it's called vinyl, but I had this piece and I said forget it, I'm just going to use it because I didn't have the stencil vinyl, because sometimes you can use whatever you have on hand, and that's what I did. But if you're going to be stenciling, I suggest that you do get that. So here I am. I should have waited because it's really wet still, but I wanted to take it off. I wanted to remove it, and I wanted to see what was happening. And of course I messed up some of the letters, which wasn't a problem, because what I did, which I didn't show here, was go over with a little bit of green in the spaces that I kind of messed up, and that was it. You couldn't even tell. So yeah, I should have waited. But it really didn't do much damage. I could fix whatever damage I did. That's a great thing about painting. You could always go back with paint and nobody knows. And it doesn't have to look perfect either, because it's supposed to be distressed and it's supposed to look handmade. So, and if you prefer to write, if you have a good penmanship and you want to write it yourself, go right ahead and do that with paint and a brush, because I know that's really in now. I wanted to do that, but sometimes I get scared and won't do it with paint like this. I don't want to ruin this canvas, but I probably will do it next time. So now it's dry, the frame is dry, and it looks pretty, but it looks too shiny and too new. So, and I don't think I showed it here, but what I did is I glued the canvas to the back with just hot glue. Okay, and then it's called linen, and it's distress ink, and I'm just going over it to make it look distressed. And then I have another one that's a little bit darker. It's like a chocolate color. It's ink, and then I just rubbed it around the frame to give it like an antique patina, and it actually looked really, really nice. So yeah, this is our frame. I think it looks great. Probably needs a little bit more. And a little bit more in the corner. And in person, it looks absolutely gorgeous.